is Thursday, April 9th, 8:30 a.m. The Board of Finance special session is now in session. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chair's comments. Thank you, everybody, for taking time out of your morning. I know we all have a busy day today. So we have item number 3, new business, discuss and take action to approve accepting the local transportation capital improvement program, otherwise known as LOTSIP. It's grant for Scotland Avenue roadway improvements in the amount of $1,160,400, and to authorize the first selectman to sign all contracts and documents associated with this award approved by the Board of Selectmen on April 7, 26. Could I get that in the form of a motion? And I'm not seeing everybody.
So moved.
No
Second, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to, as I said, I'm in the car, so I'm just trying to see everybody now. Discussion. Stace, you want to just walk through real quick the match part of this, please?
Yeah. So this is a project that's been supported by CIP for years, and it's also been noted on the fund balance sheet every month when you receive that. Originally, we had thought the project was about $2.5 million, and our match was going to be about $1.2 million. But now that we received this LOTSIP grant, the match will now be down to $250,000. The total project cost is about $2.6 million. With this LOTSIP grant, we also have a connectivity grant of $800,000, prior approved CIP funding available $375,000, which leaves a potential matching of $250,000. We're not asking for that approval today because we need to finalize the numbers. But kudos to Rob Russo for making this grant work.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stace. Any other comments or questions?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Stacy, just to clarify, that 375 that was previously approved for CIP for that, can we say that's a cap then of the maximum we would have to contribute from town funds?
Nope, that was already approved. So additional amount that we could potentially need is about $250,000.
Oh,
so that
okay.
was
So
approved in a prior year, yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is the 375, we wouldn't go above 375, more likely just 250.
Nope, we're going to need that 375 that was already approved. And then we're going to, once we have final numbers, we'll be coming back to the boards for potential additional funding, but it should not be anywhere near what we were anticipating. It should be around 250 based on where the numbers are today.
Okay. So the town responsibility could be the 375 plus an additional 250.
Correct.
Thanks.
John, you had a question. John R., excuse me.
Quick question, kind of a follow-up to that. So are we in any way committing ourselves to that additional 250 or thereabouts by accepting this?
Yes.
Pretty much. I mean, we're just not going
to the process. John, we're committed to it. That's to accept the grant. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
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 Any opposed? Abstention? That motion carries. We have item 4, discussion and take action to approve the appropriation of $100,000 of the Meals on Wheels Reserve Fund, which was approved by the Board of Selectmen April 7, 26. I think we all have gone through this during the budget process, but I'd like that in the form of a motion, please.
So moved.
Motion made. Could I get a second?
Second.
Second. Thank you. Second, John, Bob, everybody. Any discussion?
Yeah.
John.
Yes.
John raised his hand, Matt. Go ahead, John R.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair. We knew about this when we were going through budget deliberations. We made a conscious effort to, I guess for the lack of a better term, reduce the operating budget and plan to move this through special appropriation. I don't think this is a good, proper use of special appropriations. I'll be voting no. And I just have concerns that, we present to the public that we raised the budget by X percent. What we really did was we raised it X% plus stuff that we have set aside for special appropriation. So nothing against Meals on Wheels. It's a great program. I didn't want to cut it out of the original budget. But for the reasons mentioned, I'll be voting no. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to answer that after Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, so my question is, we had talked about funding this over 2 years. Is this the funding that they want, the $100,000 right now?
No, this is for 2 years. This is our, to me, and John, for both of you, to me, this is a reserve fund. I really like to see us. I do think we can raise the money privately through private donations. I might be in the minority there, but I think Madison, you have a lot of good people, a lot of good companies. And I think if we ask them, they'll donate. So, John, with respect to you, to me, that was my whole thing about having a reserve fund in case they need it. But Matt, to answer your question, this is over a 2-year period, maybe a lot more if we can raise the money. They don't need it. Any other comments?
Yeah, John, I just want to follow up on that because my recollection was that pretty much how you just reprised it is that if the fundraising attempted increased fundraising failed, then we would go to a special appropriation. So I was a little surprised to see that the selectmen wanted this so soon. I see where it covers the projected 2-year costs are $85,538, and this will cover that. But can just briefly go through how that happened so soon.
Yeah, so I'm going to guess, John, because I had some conversation, but I didn't have a conversation when this came out during the budget process. And I think everybody on this board, John R., you, me, all of us, we're not cutting out Meals on Wheels. But it was said a few times, perception was, so I guess the Board of Selectmen got together, they wanted to make sure that Meals on Wheels had the funds if they needed them. And that's why it came out so quickly. There was some concern, I guess, that we wouldn't set the money aside, which I think all of us here on this board realize is not accurate. I also don't disagree with having the money put it aside as long as we continue to do all our efforts to raise the money privately.
Where do we put that money when we set it aside? Will there be a separate fund for that?
Yeah, it's a reserve fund, but Stacy can answer that better than I can.
Yep, it's a reserve fund.
Matt?
Yeah, so just a comment. So I mean, we can fund this as a special appropriation if necessary. I think that putting it into a reserve fund takes away some of the effort for private fundraising. So I am all for the program, absolutely. And we do have, undesignated funds that we could use if needed in the future. But I would prefer to stick to our original plan. I mean, we had a solid plan on how to fund this. So I think, although I support the program wholly, I don't think this is the right way. So I'll be voting no as well, too.
That's fine. Real quick, in the reserve fund, right? Stace, what's the process to remove that money from the reserve fund?
I think we would have to just go through the same process. It will sit there,
right?
And
we still have control.
Yeah, we absolutely still have control of it.
That's my point. So it's still they have to put the effort. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm just telling you, it's not like they're putting in their account now. It's in a reserve fund. We're segregating it, but they still have to come back before us. Any other comments or discussion?
Yeah, John, I'll just follow up by saying I agree with the philosophy here. I agree with that it's important to think the fund, but this is not what we agreed on in terms of timing. I think that's probably all it is, a matter of timing. So I'll vote no also.
Okay. And any other comments? So we're going to do a roll call vote because I don't think it's going to pass. All in favor, say aye or raise your hand. Actually, roll call vote real quick. Go ahead to transfer the money to the Meals on Wheels Reserve Fund. John Muller.
No.
Yay or nay? Yay is to transfer the reserve fund. Nay is to oppose it.
Yay. Oh.
John, nay. John R.
Nay.
Jude.
Yes. Yay.
Matt.
Nay.
Matt. Bob.
Yay.
And I'm a yay. So that's 3-3 right now. The motion does not pass. Any citizens' comments?
No.
Anybody? No one for the public. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Meeting's adjourned at 8:39. Thank you, everyone.